Good morning, good morning, good morning. Predicted Trades family. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's dig into prep. So we just had our CPI numbers come out. Overall, it looks like they were in line with estimates. So likely it's all priced in, as it usually is. No real shockers. Looking at our economic data. Mainly still showing last week. Catch up with the times. Here we go. So we had our CPI today. That all just came out. Come on, they don't even have the actual numbers. What are you doing, Market Watch? Slacking. Ugh. Well, overall it came in at 6.4. I can try to pull it up. Come on, there we go. CPI, month over month, 0.5%. Estimate was 0.5%. Year over year, 6.4%. Estimate was 6.2. Year over year, 5.6. Estimate was 5.5. So basically everything that came in pretty close, pretty in line. Looking at the rest of the week, tomorrow we have retail sales, we have some manufacturing data, we have some homes building data. And then Thursday, jobless claims as always, PPI, Producer Price Index, some more housing data, manufacturing data. And Friday's a light day, so it is an OPEX week. Monthly options expiration. And as you can see, we've had a good run up. Then we had a little pullback to get to the daily moving averages. If you're new to the channel, this white line is the daily mean, the daily 21. The orange is the 15. The blue is the daily 8. So you can see we got up into this range, 4,100, 4,200, where we consolidated, had our reversion to the mean. We held it above it on Friday as they loaded into long positions. We know that because we had a little gap up and we just took off and went. Now we're back up into this range that we sat in. And we got that rally into CPI. As we can see, we had our reaction. At first it dumped back to this 1 hour squeeze bottom near the daily 8. Then it popped up to new highs above the 1 hour squeeze top. And then it fell right back in near the lows, and now it's just settling in the middle. Overall, this 1 hour squeeze is going to set the tone for today. And, our squeeze clouds really can't be beat. When they show up, there's something we have to take note of. Yesterday we had that 1 hour squeeze. We ran up to the top. We had a little pullback. We were, I called out longs just, like 5-10 minutes into the open. Called out those 410s. And either way, we ran up to that squeeze top. There was a little pullback in there, and then we took off, firing that squeeze to the upside. So we'll have to see if today we can push and start to fire this, again, 1 hour squeeze to the upside. We can see that we dipped down kind of near those midday lows yesterday, which are around 41.30. That 41.30, 41.36, kind of our support. We also have the daily 8 sitting at that 41.27. Yesterday, POC established itself at one point at 41.27. Now it's sitting at 41.43. Kind of near that little pre-market low there. So we have a number of levels of support. We've got pocket 41.43. We've got this key 4136, 4135 zone right at the bottom of our 1 hour squeeze. And we have the daily 8 now sitting at that 4127, which was pocket at one point. So there is a lot of liquidity there. And overall yesterday we held the daily 15 and daily 8. You know, I know if you look around on Twitter and whatnot, you'll see a lot of folks trying to scream, "Get ready, we're about to sell off huge," blah, blah, blah. I try not to, subscribe to any of those schools of thought. I just follow the price action in front of me. And from what I can see, we had a bullish run up. We pulled back to daily moving averages where we held, and we are having another bullish run up. So overall, the sentiment is bullish. We can see that in our 45 MA chart. These are the 45 EMAs from all the intraday time frames. We were bullish. We broke through on that reversion to the mean. And then yesterday, we were right back up near the 4 hour 45. We took off above it, and now all of the MAs are flipped again. Overall, that 4 hour 45 sits right at about 4120. So that's kind of my line in the sand today. Back below 4120, okay, we are shifting trend back down, and we can see another reversion to the mean, another drop back down to Friday's consolidation. But as long as we hold above that 4120, 4127, 4136, we've got a number of levels here for support. As long as we hold above that, we should be looking for bullish setup. The market moves in a few phases where we drop, consolidate, go up, consolidate, drop, consolidate, right? Fall down, consolidate, move up. Today, one other very key scenario. Everybody was, loading long into this. We are still going to have a small gap up. And everybody sees this reaction wick, and a number of folks are going to be trying to short. So we've got a lot of folks trying to leverage in each direction with this 1 hour squeeze after the data drop, and we're right in the middle. It could very much turn into a chop day. It is an OPEX week. We still have PPI. We still have a few economic pieces of data coming out this week. So it could very well be that we are contained by this 1 hour squeeze today. Overall, we're going to be using our MA clouds to identify trend and try to follow it. So for ES today, I've said what I want to see us hold. If we can't hold those, if we lose that 4120, we need to be thinking another reversion to the daily 21, back to that 4080-ish. But if we can hold up here and start the rally through this 1 hour squeeze top through pre-market high, I'm thinking like this 4165, then we can start to get up to that complete pre-market high up near that 4183, 4190 zone. And just for fun, I want to throw on the beast tool. What in the world? Hold on one sec, let me get this loaded. Because I want to show where that wick stopped. So, like I was saying in the chat, the range has been set from this wick, right? We have our pre-market low from that reaction down at that 4132. We should be looking for longs off of that. We have our pre-market high, and look where it stopped, right at the middle of our destination sell zone. These levels are very important. They are calculated by algorithms. They are driven by what the market is doing and how it moves. So this is not surprising to me at all. The fact that that arrow is there means we fully tapped that line and then went back. So, just for fun, what is it? The high of this candle, 41.86.5, 41.86.48. I mean, come on, folks. So, like I was saying pre-market, we kind of knew what that range would be before that candle formed. Any pop was going to stop there. And with this 1 hour squeeze and all of this liquidity and yesterday's, midday lows, we kind of knew where it was going to hold. So, let's see what we can get today. I'll be looking for longs off this open range buy zone, this squeeze bottom if we get down there. When we get a big reaction candle like this, they love to test one end, go to the other end before we ever really break out. Let's turn that plot off. Okay, let's just remove that entirely. Thank you. Let's move on. We've got our, to the upside, want to get through this 56, 65 zone, get up to this 41.83, 41.90, and then past that, it's 42.05, 42.16-ish, yep, and 42.32 if we actually get through 4,200 and keep trying to push. Otherwise, we'll be in between that zone above, our support below, and navigating this 1 hour squeeze. No, don't start freezing toss. Oh. Well, hold on 1 second. Sorry, folks. Toss just kind of restarted on me. Ay. Some other notes that are bullish that I've saw in my feed and blips this morning. The dollar is retreating ahead of CPI. Treasury also retreating, heading down, leading into CPI. So, hold on 1 second. There we go. So those are bullish data points. You want to keep an eye on the dollar and treasuries, make sure they keep falling. VIX back below 20. We want to see it stay below 20. All these things can lend to further bullish sentiment and further continuation of this overall uptrend that we're in. Like I said, that 41.20, my big line in the sand today, that 4 hour 45. As long as we're staying above that, we're trying to keep the bullish setup intact. All right, Thurs is coming back online. There we go. It's also worth noting this wedge that we were in. Basically, it was just a trend line from the highs of last week where we topped out and then had our reversion to the mean. We can see that yesterday we pulled up near the top of that trend line, and then the overnight session took us through that trend line. Now this pullback is retesting not only the trend line we broke through, but the one that got us up here, off of the lows from last week and into yesterday. You can see that yesterday we even tapped that trend line at open and went higher. Excuse me. All right, we're back to NQ. I need to get the right style on the chart. Come on. All right. NQ. Have the same hourly squeeze, the same setup with the daily 15 and the daily 8 that we held yesterday. So overall, would like to see NQ hold above that daily 8 and this squeeze bottom around 12 470, 12 450. Call that a little 20-point range. That should be support to allow us to start heading back up. If we start to lose that, it'll be back down to the daily 15, maybe that daily 21 down at 12,200, and that key level at 12,250, which held us up Friday. As long as we can hold that squeeze bottom and catch the bounce, looking to get back up through 12,600 and start the journey on up to the next Keltner above, up near 12,800. I'd say tech has been leading lately, right? And but it's also having some very interesting rotation all around. At one point, Apple, Microsoft were leading to the upside yesterday, and then there was rotation where they'd take a break. Google would catch a bounce. Google's been getting beat up. Overall, tech's trying to lead. So let's see if we can hold that daily 8. Watch this squeeze. See if we can break to the upside. Watch your pre-market low and high. As we visit near the low, I'll be going long to go test the high. We start to give out, I'll cut it and switch directions. The ready. And I need to start burning through these names. It's getting late. The ready. Want to see it hold this 1941, very big key level. At the bottom of this hourly squeeze. Want to see it hold there, get back through at 1950, kind of yesterday's highs. And push on up to that pre-market high, 1964-ish. And then back up, if we can continue to this zone I have above, which sits up near 1990. That's kind of the upside target if we can break out to revisit some of these highs from last week. If we start to give out that 1941, then we want to target 1920 where the daily 21 sits. YM. Living life above 34,000 again. Overall, I want to see us hold that pre-market low. That's 34,200 at the bottom of this hourly squeeze. If we can hold there and get back above 34,300, we can try to continue that journey back up to 400 and 500. Pre-market high, 33,550. Up at the top of this daily and 2-day squeeze. We start to lose that 34,200-ish at the bottom of this hourly squeeze, then we want to target back down to 34,000, where we have the daily 15, daily 8, daily 21, all kind of flanking around 34,000. Apple. Very strong yesterday. Overall, want to see it hold. This 152.5, 152.75, right? Our pre-market lows are right near that 152.75. Even if we slip those for just a hair, I'm okay with it as long as we hold 152.5. We can catch a bounce there. Looking for Apple to get back up to these key levels, 153.8, 154.7, and a journey to get back up to that 155. And if we, can get one above 155 and hold, it's all about, trying to get up to this 160. It's 159.5 is my key level. Next Keltner is at 158. We start to lose at 152.5. We want to start targeting back down to 151-ish, where the daily 8 sits. 150 and 149, kind of near last week's lows. Amazon. It's not the best mover. It, had some upside yesterday, but it's chopping around the daily 21. Ultimately, want to see us hold 98 at the, going back to 97 is back near last week's lows. So, looking forward to try to hold above 98, make that push through 100 to get up to 101.75, back to 104.25. Start to lose that 98. Going to retest 97, maybe 96, maybe fall to the daily 50 that's down at 93. Google. Beat up after that AI demonstration and just sitting now at that daily 50, around 94. Overall, don't trade this right now. They did not like what happened with the AI. There's no reason to be the first person to try to go long. Just let it sit, let it prove itself, let it start to do something. Tight squeeze right around that daily 50. I'd just park Google like they are. Meta. Want to see it hold above 178, kind of near your pre-market lows. Try to make it through 181-ish, yesterday's highs, and start that journey back up to that 185, 190. That consolidation that we had leading into last week's reversion to the daily 8 for Meta. If we start to lose at 178, you want to target back to that daily 8 at 176, 176.5, and then 175 at the bottom of that hourly squeeze. Should that give out, then you want to target down to 172.5-ish, 170. Microsoft, very strong yesterday. Overall, just want to see it hold above 270. Pre-market lows around there. Once we got above 270 yesterday, we had some interesting pullbacks, but we didn't really get back to 270 till kind of the end of the day. Overall, if we can hold that 270, looking to get back up to 275 near yesterday's highs. Recent high 276.76, 278, 280 targets to the upside. If we get past those, 275 and recent high. We start to give out 270. We want to target right back to 266.72, kind of where we took off from yesterday. And below that, 262.84 is where the daily, just call it 263 is where the daily 8 sits. On Microsoft, sorry. Netflix. Great move yesterday off of the daily 21 from 350 back up near 360. I just want to see 355 hold. If we can hold there, we're going to make a push through 360, 361, and then get back up to that 370, 378. We start to lose at 355. You want to target back to the mean at 350, and yesterday's lows at 344 past that. NVIDIA. Overall, pre-market low and the daily 8 sit at around 215. So looking for NVIDIA to stay above 215, 216, kind of that last low from yesterday. That's your zone of support. As long as we can hold that, looking for NVIDIA to get back above 220 and continue that push to 225, 230, last week's highs. We start to lose 215, we want to target back to 210, the lows that we held yesterday and Friday. QQQ. And sorry folks, I'm just trying to blaze through the names. QQQ at the bottom of this 1 hour squeeze. Overall, I just want to see it stay above 302.5, 302. That is slipping a hair outside of the squeeze bottom, but that's okay. We can slip a little bit out as long as we get back above and reverse. If we start to give out that 302.5, 302, then we want to start targeting back to 301, 300, where that daily 15 sits, and the daily 21 is going to be down near 296. But if we can hold and pump to the upside, looking to get back above 305, yesterday's highs, get up to some of these pre-market highs around 306.5, 308, all in an effort to get back to that 310, 311 on QQQ. SPY made it up to this 414, now pulling back to where we were basically held midday. You know, we held that 411. So would love to see that 411 hold, right? And could we get something dramatic where like they dump that 411, they start looking like we're going down, and then we just hold that 410 and reverse right back up? Yes, yes. I'm saying ideally it would be nice to just hold 411, get that pop, you know, recovery pop, because we're having a small gap down. So go back to fill the gap and then maybe just keep on going. We always want to keep gap fills in our mind. So let's see, we are hovering near the pre-market low. Looks like we might even set some new ones before we open. If that 411 gives out, we want to target down to that 410, 409, where we took off from yesterday. Below that, daily 8 is at 40. I'm sorry, daily 15 is at 408. Daily 21 is down at 405. Near last week's lows. Tesla. Uh-oh. I can hear my lady and my 2-year-old are on their way into the office. So hold on one sec, folks. I gotta mute for just a minute. Come in. Hey, Lucky. Okay, sorry about that, folks. My lady and my son stopped by. They needed to use my car, so I just had to send them off. Anyway, to Tesla. Yesterday we held that 190. We didn't really go anywhere, right? We just recovered back up to that daily 8. Now pre-market, trying to hold above 192, so overall would like to see that 192 hold. If it doesn't, then we are going to revisit that 190 in the bottom of the squeeze. But as long as we hold there, I'm looking to get going back up above 195, which was kind of where we were topping out yesterday. Try to get back up to that 200. Try to get back up to where we were last week before the pullback. So if we can get through 200, you want to be watching for that 206, 210, 216, last week's high 214. If we give out 190, we'd be targeting back to 185, 181 where the daily 15 sits, daily 21 down at 174. So last but not least, VIX, and we'll wrap this up. VIX back below 20, making it back to these daily moving averages. So downside, if we are going to continue rolling over on this little gap down, we want to, VIX will likely get back above the daily 21, daily 8 at 19.8, get back above 20, and go back to fill the gap around Where did we kind of close? 20.5. The daily 50 up at 20.7 and back to 21 at the top of this daily squeeze. But if we are going to catch a bounce and see a rally today, not roll over, we would like to see VIX stay below 20 and stay below that 19.8 where the daily 21 daily 8 are. Start to roll over below 19.5, make it down to that pre-market low around 19, and maybe just keep on trucking below 19. So that's it for prep today. Giving you an upside and a downside thesis, giving you the range for every ticker, what we want to see hold, where we could be stuck between today. So let's see what we get. This does not make me, want to get overly short, right? I know that this reaction looks a little negative now, but overall, if it was really a negative reaction, we would have tanked through 4,100, something very dramatic, right? Overall, this is measured reaction. Like, it's probably priced in what the CPI was, what the PPI will be. They know what they're doing when they price stuff in. So let's see if we can catch that bounce. Maybe see an interesting rally today. Or if they're using this as the start of a rollover and another reversion to the mean. So thanks for tuning in, folks. Good luck today. And we'll see everybody in the chat.